Hello everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to record my little 2 cents on every Mania 26 to 30. I'll be sharing a couple of photos as well from my experience from the one that I went to, which will be Mania 30, and then obviously ones for the following years in the next week's podcast. So I'm starting off with WrestleMania 26. The pre-show, I don't remember that one. I do remember that Yoshi Tatsu. That's how much I know of him. I know he was in for a very brief period in WWE because I don't remember him that well, but I do remember of him. Next match, Xiaomi's versus John Morrison and R-Truth. It's quite ironic, really, that the fact that three of those four, they all had. Well, I know they all had history, but Miz and John Morrison, obviously, is what we see today. Miz and R-Truth, they had a little bit of a run, which was quite funny. And the fact they even wrestled John Cena and The Rock in a tag match, which is really odd, but it was fun. Randy Orton defeated Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. Not quite sure on that one. Again, I didn't watch this live. This was just kind of a network watch a while back. Jack Swagger defeated Christian, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Evan Bourne. Okay, that's a lot of names. Money in the Bank ladder match, not a fan. Triple H defeated Sheamus. This was when Sheamus was at the top of his game, I'd imagine. Wrestling with Triple H at WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio defeated CM Punk. I know that was his Straight Edge Society run, which is pretty cool. I quite enjoyed it watching it back on the network. Bret Hart defeated Mr. McMahon by submission. Now I do remember this one. I wasn't a fan at all. I don't even know why Bret Hart wanted to wrestle at WrestleMania 26, because I think his better days are behind him. But Vince McMahon, he always puts on a great show regardless of whatever he's involved in, so I suppose that's all I can take from that. Chris Jericho defeated Edge for the what is it again, James? Okay, 10 Diva tag match, 3 minutes 26 seconds. I'll skip that. John Cena defeated Batista by submission. Here we go again. He had a couple of WrestleManias where he won by submission, and then he lost a couple, and then here we go again. John Cena winning by submission where he doesn't even put the hold on correctly, which frustrates the hell out of me. But, this was John Cena's time, so we got to give him props to that, I suppose. Now the main. This was the start of some of Undertaker's greatest WrestleMania matches, and this first one was something out of this world. It was, to some, one of his best. I can't really... See, I know everyone's already said a lot about this one, so I don't really want to delve too much into this one, because probably everything that could be said about this has been said about this. But, obviously, that's not a bad card, but that would have been the match of the night, for sure, in anyone's opinion, But yeah, better matches to come with Undertaker, but this one was a very special match. Okay, on to the next one, WrestleMania 27. Again, didn't watch it live, had periods where I didn't watch, as you all know, so yeah. But yeah, I've seen this one a couple of times. Two matches stick out in this one, but we'll get to that. Sheamus for Danny Bryan ended in a no contest lumberjack match for the United States Championship. Oh, dark match. I was going to say I don't remember that one. Great Khali won by Sheamus in the Battle Royale. Dark. Okay, that's why I don't remember those. Edge and Alberto Del Rio. Well, we all know my thoughts on Del Rio. He's absolute trash. I can't stand the man. I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. So for Edge to get the win over Del Rio, absolutely fine by me. I love Edge. Fantastic. Cody Rhodes defeated Rey Mysterio. Well, need I say any more about that really? 8-man tag match. Big Show, Kane, Cole Kingston, something like that. Not too sure on that one. I can't remember that one. Randy Orton defeated CM Punk. 2 years in a row. CM Punk lost at Mania. Still never got his main event at WrestleMania. But hey ho. Now, as shit as this sounds, I actually remember this one. Michael Cole defeated Jerry Lawler in a no holds barred match. Not saying it's the best, not by any means necessary, but I think it was just because it was a spectacle, like a bit of a gimmick match, that I remember it. And the sad fact that Michael Cole's undefeated WrestleMania. It's just words I never thought I'd ever say. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Undertaker, Triple H, no holds barred match, 29 minutes and 23 seconds. What a spectacle this was. Fantastic match. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail because at this point everyone's said absolutely everything they could about this match. But we all know this is one of Taker's top matches of his career. These two had fantastic chemistry. One of his top rivals of all time for me. I love Triple H, Undertaker, obviously. But then you follow that up with this hot garbage 6-person mixed tag match. Yeah, okay, we got Trish Stratus in it. We got Vicky Guerrero in it. We got Dolph Ziggler. We got John Morrison. Yeah, some okay names, but Nicole Snooki Pelosi, or whatever the hell that is. How the fuck do you follow up that with that? Jesus. And now we get on to our main event. The Miz defeating John Cena at WrestleMania in the main event for the WWE Championship. I've got no words for this one because, you know, this went down in history. This was one of the Miz's greatest achievements of all time. Beating John Cena at WrestleMania in the main event. Still gets spoken about today. He still mentions it in his promos. Rightfully so. What a fantastic achievement for the Miz. Wow. Now we move on to WrestleMania 28. I do remember quite a lot of this one. I am 90% sure I saw this live. You know me by now, you know, head like a sieve. But I've saw this WrestleMania countless times. Well, it's in my top five WrestleManias of all time. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I could stop this now and just go and watch it, honestly. Sheamus defeating Daniel Bryan with AJ Lee in his corner. Well, this one went down quite well. Yeah, it did last 18 seconds. I don't think it squashed Daniel Bryan. Yeah, okay. He lost the belt. He lost the... What's the belt called again, James? Yeah, he did lose it in 18 seconds, but it was fun. It was a fun way they did it. You know, they rang the bell. Hold on, wait a minute. Then turn around, have a little kiss. Good luck. Turn around. Wham. Bro kick. 1, 2, 3. Done. You know, it is what it is. But I enjoyed that. It was fun. You know, you can look back at that and smile. You know, the fact that a title change happened at WrestleMania in 18 seconds. Kane defeated Randy Orton. I also remember this one as well. I believe this was Kane's return. Well, I know he'd returned a couple of weeks before or whenever it was, and he had that like welder's mask on, which I thought was pretty cool. You know, a mask over a mask. I quite like that theory. You know, that look for him. It was good. It was a good look. Decent match as well. Quite enjoyed that one. Big Show defeating Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental Championship. I remember these two also had a tables match. And Big Show was on the apron and Cody pushed him and his foot went through the table, is still counted. So, you know, for Big Show to get some comeuppance, fair enough. Kelly and Maria Mendoza defeated Beth Phoenix and Eva Torres. I think it wasn't quite the start of the women's revolution, but it was slowly getting to something where people gauged a bit of interest. To me, minimal interest on the women's matches back then. Obviously, it's evolved into something far greater and far bigger than it ever has been. So, now, this has to be my favourite Undertaker match of his entire career. It was special. I think a majority of us would agree. This is where Undertaker should have retired. And although he has done some good stuff after this, I would have been happy if he'd have just left it at this here. The ending to that match was something else. It was out of this world. You know, top of the ramp, all brothers in arms, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Undertaker. That photo cemented this match as to like say, right, that is it. We're done. We're retired. Each and every one of us. You know, let's just not have one retire. All three legends retire in one night after an iconic match. The false finishes on this match, you know, the 2 counts. Wow. You know, I'm sure you can all agree with me. How many tombstones did we see? How many pedigrees? How many super kicks? How many sledgehammers shots did we see? How many chair shots? 2 count. You could not pinpoint anything in this match where you would think, we're done, that's it, that's a 3 count, and then a kick out again. It was just edgy seat, best 30 minutes of wrestling history. It was just incredible. And they beat the shit out of each other. Those chair shots from Triple H, and you know, end it, and he wouldn't end the match, Shawn Michaels, and you know, the turns where Undertaker would bully Shawn Michaels, and you know, Shawn Michaels would turn on Taker, and then he'd turn on Triple H. There was just so many twists and turns in this match. It was the best. It was the best, and for them not to retire after that, you know, okay, they did a couple of things, but you know, deep down, that would have gone down. Well, it did go down in history, but as a retirement, that would have just been the perfect moment for Undertaker. But I get it. You know, it's still got time left. It's still got fuel left in the tank, so I can see him wanting to carry on with it. I can see that. I get it. But you know, Undertaker, Triple H. And then how do you follow that match? We've still got 3 matches to go. How do you follow that? That should have been main event. But you know, twists and turns, ifs and buts and all that. But then they follow up with a 12-man tag. And I kind of get the pattern here. When an Undertaker match is like third way down the card, they always follow it with just some sort of like match that nobody really cares about, nobody wants to see. I think it's just trying to get you off that level of, wow, you know, that was a 10 out of 10, I need to drop it down a little bit to get myself ready for the main event, because that was the pinnacle, we've hit the peak, now let's bring everyone down with something that's, you know, it's throwaway, but you know, it gets us to where we need to go in terms of our engagement towards WrestleMania. So yeah, that was that match. Got that out of the way. Then CM Punk on the one before the main event, so he almost made it to main event, but not quite. Defeating Chris Jericho by submission. Now he lost his last 2 WrestleManias, so to give him a win over Jericho, but via submission, singles match for the WWE Championship. Yeah, fantastic. He got his moment. Maybe it wasn't main event, but you know, at least he got something from it. And then we move on to John Cena and The Rock. What do I have to say about this one? Well, I can't remember. I know the 2 WrestleManias in a row, and I know I'm pretty sure it was this one. They had like a year build to this, or was that the next one? I think that was the next one. But you know, I think this is what people wanted to see. You know, it was, I suppose at the time it was a dream match. You know, oh, what if Rock came back, John Cena, blah blah blah. It was a good match. Whether they needed another one the following year, I'm not sure. But you know, how do you follow Triple H, Undertaker? That's that. Yeah, Rock Cena, fantastic. But you know, even though they put a couple of matches in between it, I think regardless of those matches to bring us down, I think people are still buzzing from Triple H Undertaker. Because even me now, reading this, I'm still buzzing at Triple H Undertaker, thinking of all you know, the memories of that match. So yeah, Rock Cena, dream match, tick, done. But so we think. Wait until the next one. Apologies about the sound quality on the previous videos. I didn't even have my microphone. It was over there, and I was like, shit. But I've just heard back. It's okay. So, but apologies regardless. Now, WrestleMania 29. This was the one where I fully committed back into wrestling in terms of watching weekly. You know, Raws, SmackDowns, whatever it was, I was watching it. I was back in full time. So, looking at this pre-show, Miz defeated Wade Barrett via submission, for the IC Championship. And the previous year we had Miz, not last year, the year before, for the WWE Championship at the main event. So, a considerable drop on the card, like 2 years ago, main eventing for Championship. Now you in the IC title run, which is fantastic because he did have one hell of a run. Can't remember off the top of my head how many, about 7 or 8, something around that. But to be put on the pre-show, come on, he deserved better than that. Even 2 years down the line, in my opinion. The Shield, wow, what happened to those guys? Their first WrestleMania match against a bit of a mishmash team, Big Show, Randy Orton, Sheamus. I can't remember which one. It might have been Randy Orton, where he had to try and recruit some people to face the Shield at WrestleMania. It was one of the three, anyway, obviously. And obviously the Shield won. You know, you need to build your new stars up. You know, put them against some of the top guys of that time. Mark Henry defeated Ryback. Now, I do remember this rivalry. It was ongoing for quite some time in like a test your strength contests and all that. I remember at the top of the ramp on SmackDown, I believe it was, Mark Henry was trying to bench a significant amount of weight, and then Ryback came out, tried to push the bar down on him and so forth, you know, exchange like that. Personally, I've never liked Ryback. He's just a big meathead who thinks he's bigger than he actually is. Figuratively, of course, not literally. So, you know, right man won for me on that one. Team Hell No. What a segment of you know, backstage interviews, etc. these guys had. What a pairing, you know, such a fun team to watch. You know, considering Kane's that big monster, you know, don't mess with me, I've got a mask on, I was Burns the Child, etc. And then you got the hate, the love-hate, Daniel Bryan, the yes, the no, the face, the heel. You know, we went through both phases then. You know, we went through the yes phase, went through the no phase, went through the fun phase of him. But these two gelled well, you know. Something that never meant to happen, but did. And it was a fantastic team. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Team Hell No. And they defeated Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston, who were the heel team at the time, with AJ Lee. I remember Big E was kind of like Dolph Ziggler's muscle at the time. You know, he'd just come up from NXT. So, obviously, his first WrestleMania also. Thoroughly enjoyed this match. The right team won, you know. And this one, wow. I've said wow a lot in these interviews. These reactions, sorry. Fandango defeated Chris Jericho at WrestleMania in his first match. Wow. Yeah, I get him trying to build up, you know, guys. you know, obviously Vince saw something I didn't. I didn't quite get it. You know, props for Jericho for putting Fandango over on his first WrestleMania singles match, and I believe that was his one and only. I do remember shortly after this match, though, that the Fandango theme, it was number 9 or number 7 in the UK charts because everyone just loved that whole duh, 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 duh. So yeah, fun little fact for anyone that didn't know that. It would have been funny to get it to number 1, that'd have been hilarious, but you know, top 10, come on, it's Fandango, for fuck's sake. Now, do I have to talk about this man? I cannot stand this man. I absolutely despise him. I hate everything that he's been involved in. Lives is ruined, and I hope he's rotting in jail somewhere as we speak right now. Del Rio defeated Jack Swagger by submission. For, what is it, James? Yeah, you said it. I can't say too much about this. Jack Swagger, I've never been a huge fan. He's alright. It just drops my mood so badly, Delta. Now, I'm sorry. I can't talk about a match. It's awful. Now, controversial match. Undertaker CM Punk. Paul Bearer had recently passed away, and for this match to start the rivalry, CM Punk blatantly disrespected Paul Bearer, who had just passed away, which, for, you know, up until recently, Taker's retired and he's now Mark Calloway, and he talks about a lot of things, and you know, he kind of did this the okay all those years later. But, you know, as an Undertaker fan, it's like, watching that was very, very disrespectful. To mock a man that has just passed away, you know, in front of Undertaker, that, you know, his manager, I was like, oh my god, how are they getting away with this? How is this actually happening? How is this on TV that I'm watching right now? And at the time, CM Punk was with Paul Heyman. Fantastic pairing, by the way. They both were great mouthpieces. CM Punk didn't really need a mouthpiece, but wow, did it work? This worked. It was fantastic pairing. And I can't remember, it might have been on SmackDown or Raw, Paul Heyman dressed up as Paul Bearer, and oh my god, I just thought, wow, what a piece of shit. The man's dead, and you're taking the piss out of him like this. It was just such disrespect. But like I say, Taker did it the okay, and he saw the right side to it in the end. But between that match and when Taker spoke about this, you know, there was hate. I could not stand CM Punk for what he did to this. But again, it was a fun match. You know, oh, sorry. I was just reading the bit underneath the Ultimate match. I was reading the wrong one. My apologies. Yeah, it was a good match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But again, Undertaker had to prevail because of the lack of disrespect towards Paul Bearer. It was just disgusting. So yeah, Undertaker had to get this one, especially at WrestleMania, of course. He is one of the Mr. WrestleManias. Sorry, Sean. So yeah, out of CM Punk's 3 WrestleMania match career, won 1, lost 2. Yeah, good match. I enjoyed the match, but justice was served. I felt after this win, justice was served. And then normally, after an Undertaker match at WrestleMania, we normally get something that's not as interesting to anyone, so we can just sort of tone it down, dial it back a little bit. But now they gave us Triple H with Shawn Michaels against Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. So we was up there. We were up there for WrestleMania. We're up there for Undertaker CM Punk, and then they throw us in with the Triple H Brock Lesnar match. Shawn Michaels in one corner with Triple H, Paul Heyman in the other with Brock Lesnar. You know, 23 minutes. Brock Lesnar was in a match for 23 minutes and 58 seconds. Let that sink in for a moment. This man doesn't go no longer than 5 minutes anymore. So what a treat we had with that one, to see him in the ring with one of the greats, that is Triple H, for such a long time. But yeah, Triple H beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I was shocked at this one because Brock Lesnar, you know, is the big meathead. Nobody beats him. But yeah, Triple H did. Triple H beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Fantastic match. You know, we got justice served on the previous match with Taker and CM Punk, but we got a double helping here. We both got the right winners, and thankfully Triple H beat Brock Lesnar. I've not been a massive Brock Lesnar fan, but you know, Triple H, bow down to the king. And then the match we had last year, John Cena versus The Rock, billed to us last year as once in a lifetime, never before, never again, blah blah blah. Now we'll get it again this year. Now, I did say that last year was the build-up, the year build-up, but no, this was the year build-up one. The Rock was off TV for the majority of the year, I believe. Came back at the Royal Rumble, beat CM Punk for his title, and thankfully he changed the title as to what was a much better belt than that spinning pile of monkey crap belt that we had off John Cena for many years. So for The Rock to come out and go, yeah, I beat you CM Punk, I've took your belt, I've took your 434-day title reign to an end, but I'm not just putting that title reign to an end, I am putting that belt to an end also, and I'm replacing it with something that looks a little bit more respectable, and I do have that belt in my collection, and that was my very first belt that I owned. So yeah, for what the match was, it was alright. We'd seen it last year, we get it this year. It was for the belt, and obviously, you know, John Cena, oh, I've lost at a main event at WrestleMania, that won't stand, I want that match again, but I want it for the belt, and I'm going to beat him this time. And so he did. But The Rock, he was coming to an end. This was only a short period of time that he came back to the ring, so you know, we wasn't going to get a long title reign from The Rock, but he came in, he got the job done, he put John Cena over, but most of all he got rid of that spinning belt. And thank you, Rock, for doing that for us, because I'm sure, as most of us feel, that spinning belt was trash, it was awful, even though I do own it, but I got it for a good price, so it's fine.
Thank you for joining us on the Outlaw Macho Drive-In. If you liked that video, please click like and subscribe to our channel for more content from the drive-in. For full episodes of our podcast, please look us up on Anchor or Spotify. Just search for Outlaw Macho Drive-In or click the link in the description below. Please feel free to comment. Tell us what you think about our discussion. Please tell us what you think about us. Tell us what you think in general. The world's your oyster. And do us a favor, spread the word. Help us out here. Share. Thank you. We love you. Bye.